Hey my nerds, welcome back. Last week I took you through the writing process of extrapolation and told you to make a note of the emotional beat you feel when that first idea for your story appears to you. This week we're going into how you can use that emotional beat to set the tone for the rest of your story. I find this a fantastic way of enhancing the tone of the story, and it's a trick you can employ at any stage, but it tends to be easier to incorporate the earlier you do it. The results of doing this can be very cool. In my mind, each of my books has a different colour linked to the underlying emotion I associate with the book. Raveler's Guild is gold and full of hope, while Las Moria is a dark greeny blue that is so sorrowful, while Sakara Nights is black because it's full of death and failed hope, and Written in the Flesh is more sepia and it has characters who have a very muted outlook on the world. Each of these colours can also match the initial flash of idea that led to the creation of that book, those scenes we talked about in the previous video. Which is particularly interesting because, as might be the case with you, some of those scenes didn't even make it into the final draft of my manuscripts. Yet no matter the characters or the settings that I edited out, the underlying emotion that got me excited about writing the story always remained the same. This colour coding of my stories is so strong that I've even had readers comment on how each of the stories conjures a different colour in their mind, and it matches the colour in my mind. So it's a really great trick for building your story in your reader's mind. So how can you do it? Firstly, by incorporating the colour into the setting of the story. Sakara Nights is a city of constant night, so that black tone really encompasses the entire story, helping ground the readers from the get-go. Meanwhile, Las Moria, the more dark greeny blue, is set in a forest. So from the very first scene, the imagery in the reader's head is that of the emotional colour I'm trying to convey. Throughout the story, I also incorporate all sorts of imagery that gives further subconscious cues to the reader, like how the stolen memories leave root-like marks on the character's skin. A great way you can do this is to spend a bit of time building mood boards based on the colour tone of your world. I have some on Pinterest for my books if you want examples, and I always find them a great help later down the line anyway because they help me write descriptions, so double whammy there. Another way you can incorporate the emotional colour into your world is through the magic system. In Raveler's Guild, the magic is that at sunrise and at sunset you can see the golden threads of everything the light touches. These threads allow you to track back the history of anything and everything, and that gold is therefore incorporated into the magic. You can also incorporate the colour through your use of plot and characters, like I'm doing with Written in the Flesh. I've created characters who are very film noir, and that naturally elicits this sepia feel when you imagine the detectives and the owner of a speakeasy. So think about how you can incorporate your emotional tone into the setting, plot, magic system, and characters to help you build a stronger overall emotional tone for your story. And don't forget to incorporate the colour into the cover of your novel too. It helps give the reader a hint of what's to come before they've even opened up the book. Alright, bye my nerds. See you next week for some flexing of your creativity muscles in your writing. Bye!